Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. I've got a lot of cool stuff to show you guys today. The first of which is an amazing piece of video that was emailed to me by some UFO hunters who captured some objects up in space that would seem to have interacted with them. Now, this was sent to me by a Mr. Seth Sutherland, and these UFOs were captured behind his home in Oklahoma. He was using a night vision monocular running through a laptop so that he could record it. And what you will see are laser pointers that they are pointing up in the sky, and it's almost as if these UFOs, you will see flashing their lights at these guys the moment they shine their laser pointers up in their direction. So you'll see a few different UFOs moving through space that will shine their light or flash a beam of light seemingly down at them. Some amazing footage, so go ahead and check this out. Multiple objects will give you some zoomed in and slowed down views, and it's just awesome stuff. So check it out. Alright, so once again, amazing stuff. I've actually seen videos like this before. You'll get a group of people, go somewhere late at night. It's usually best if you do it out west, where you have a clear, black, dark sky, where you can see space, you can see all the stars. You use some night vision equipment. You can use laser pointers. It really doesn't matter what you use, but these things seem to interact, as they've done in this video. You guys saw it for yourself. These things discharge a momentary light flare coming from these objects, almost as if to say hello to the people who are recording them. So big thanks to Mr. Sutherland from Oklahoma. Keep sending in some more footage. I'd love to see more. Now, we've got some more just baffling UFO footage that was sent to me earlier today by a Mr. Michael Burrows. And I spoke with Michael on the phone earlier, and what he has captured here is nothing short of just bizarre and baffling. So before I show you the video, just to give you a quick background, Michael said that he was walking his dog at about 9:30 p.m. down the shore of Pompano Beach, Florida, when he began seeing lights over the ocean, and that's what you're going to see. It's a dark video, but what you're seeing is him pointing his camera east out over the ocean, and you're going to see what he called a formation of lights. Now, one of those lights began what almost looks like an energy discharge at times. You'll see this thing shoot a very bright red beam of light and shortly after, a metallic-looking cube appears in the sky, sits there. The source then runs home with his dog. He didn't stick around very long to see what it was, so again, we'll talk more about it in just a second, but check this out. All right, so help me out here, guys. You can see the lights in the background here, and I spoke with Michael on the phone after he sent me this footage through Facebook. Now, he told me that he originally caught this and posted it up on his own Facebook page. Now, he's a local chef down there in Florida, and he was telling his friends about it. They didn't believe him. So, being a watcher of our channel, he sent it in. I called him, spoke with him for about 20 minutes about what he had seen. He was walking his dog, saw these lights, and then saw this large gray square object appear in the sky. He said it seemed to be interacting with one of these light orbs that you see flashing the bright red light just before this thing appears. And he said that once this cube-shaped object appeared, that it started moving toward this red light, and he just got the hell out of there. Ran home with his dog, checked the footage later, showed all of his friends at work the footage, and ultimately sent it to us. So I said, yeah, definitely, I will put this up and see if anyone else in Pompano Beach, Florida saw this thing. Because that was one of the main reasons he sent it over. He definitely wanted to see if anyone else out that night. He said it's a fairly populated area. And as I told Michael, it's not a question of whether people saw it, because there likely are more people that saw this thing and these lights. What the question is whether they recorded it when they saw it, because a lot of people, they'll see things in the sky and they'll watch it, but they won't record it. And in other cases, when they do record it, most of the time it'll just sit on their phone and they'll show it to their friends and close family, and that'll be the end of it. So a lot of people don't know about channels like ours that they can send their footage to. But that's what we're trying to change, and thankfully Secureteam has been catching the eye of more people, and we're getting in more footage. So hopefully anybody in Pompano Beach, Florida have seen this thing, shoot me an email. And big thanks to Mr. Burrows who emailed me this. It was a pleasure talking to him. And yeah, hopefully we can get some more answers. So let me know what you guys think. Amazing footage. Now, here is one other UFO sighting that I want to show you guys. Before we get to some new moon footage, some talk about Edward Snowden, as well as a very special surprise at the end of this video. And again, the source emailed me this footage, captured these strange lights moving through the sky. He said that just before he started recording, these lights moved close together and actually crisscrossed each other. So he said that they were definitely interacting with one another, moving steadily through the sky. And so, yeah, check this out. Now we have some moon findings, some new moon structures, as well as an update to our last video where we found that massive object sitting in a crater. The first of which was emailed to me by a viewer who was scanning through those 360-degree panoramic images that you can find on Google Earth and Google Moon, where you can go down to the original Apollo moon landing sites and get a 360-degree view. So he noticed something strange on one of the Apollo 16 landing sites. And here we are. We've got the lander here. And if you'll take a look on this hill, we see a very strange object with a red tip to it sticking up from the other side of this hill here. So let's go ahead and zoom in. And, yeah, I have no idea what this is. Could this be a piece of equipment? I tried to do some research and look through all the equipment and experiments that they took with them on the moon, and as of yet, I haven't found any equipment that meets this description, with a long black sort of stick or pole with a bright red tip on the end of it. So you guys can head over to Google Moon and check this out yourself, but it's definitely an interesting oddity there on the moon. It doesn't look like it belongs to any of the other surroundings. So check it out and let me know what you guys think. Another moon structure that was sent to me on Facebook. And by the way, you guys, I know that a lot of you have sent me things on Facebook and you may or may not have gotten a reply. That's just because mainly I want you guys to send me your footage and your emails. If you do want a faster reply, email them to me. My email is down in the video description. It's thesecureteam@gmail.com. And that is the main place I'd rather have you send your footage. That way you can send me uncompressed video files, whereas with Facebook, you get a very compressed, smaller file when you're trying to email me videos. If you have footage, email it to me. And if your video footage is over the size limit and it will not allow you to email it to me, which seems to be a big problem with a lot of people trying to send me videos, all you need to do is upload your video to something called Dropbox. It's free, Google it, upload your video to Dropbox, and then email me the download link. That way I will be able to download the original raw uncompressed file. So I was emailed this image showing another very strange object sitting in the edge of a crater on the moon. And this was sent over by Mr. Tom Bingham from the UK. And this is from the Apollo 11 mission when they were orbiting the moon. And it actually looks sort of similar to the object we showed you in yesterday's video, which, by the way, we are going to talk about in just a second. Here is that massive object from yesterday's video that we showed you guys, and it definitely looks like an artificial object or craft or piece of machinery. I've gotten a lot of emails since I posted that video saying that it looks possibly like one of those mining cranes that you see. And now we have this new image here, and you can already see it. Here's the zoomed out version, and if you look to the right edge of the crater, you'll see what looks like a triangular object. So as we zoom in, give you a better look at this thing, it's actually raised up off the ground. You can see the shadow of the inside. It almost looks like a triangular, almost piping formation that's sitting up above the ground. Really strange. It's definitely a 3D structure because you can see the shadow on the inside of whatever this structure is. And again, it has sort of a triangular shape to it. So there's so much to the moon we don't know and that we haven't seen. And before any of you guys say, hey, it's pareidolia, Tyler, it's just a rock, let me tell you, the NASA image techs have already come out and stated that there were objects captured on the moon that they were forced to edit out, but they couldn't edit out all of them. Only the ones that were extremely defined, they erased or airbrushed out. Now, there are other anomalies that were captured from farther away and that are at a much lower resolution. A lot of them which were left in because you can't tell definitively one way or another what exactly they are. So don't kid yourself, do not sell yourself short. That is exactly what NASA would want you to do. So again, thanks to Mr. Bingham for emailing me over this footage. Now, in regards to our last video where we featured this massive object sitting on the rim of a crater, someone emailed me, and I don't know why I didn't think about doing this when I was first playing with this image, but he sent me an inverted, flipped version of the object, and here is that image that he sent me. It's just a screen grab from my video, but when you actually flip the image around, you get a much better perspective, and this thing now looks like a large tower or building of some sort, and not to mention the shadow of this object matches much better than when flipped to the other perspective. So when I was showing you guys it yesterday, it may have just been a backwards perspective, and this is what it actually looked like. And this thing looks like it's sitting high up off the ground. The sun is hitting it, and you see its elongated shadow behind it on the inside of the crater. And, you know, we've shown you similar images of these radio tower type installations on the moon. They've been featured on countless documentaries on TV. I mean, they are the go-to photographs when talking about artificial structures on the moon. these satellite dish looking objects and these large, what look like pipes or cylinders that are coming up out of the moon's surface. And so this here may have been the correct perspective. Let me know what you guys think. Again, this thing is still unknown, and no way is this thing a pile of rocks or another crater, as I think one person had stated originally in the comments on the other video. There's no way. This is just pareidolia. This is an object. Do not delude yourself and do not fool yourself. This thing is artificial, and it has nothing to do with the crater. So, let me know what you guys think. Now, if you remember the other day, we were talking to you about Edward Snowden, the fugitive from the United States who is living in Russia, who leaked all of those NSA documents and revealed how the NSA was spying on 300 million Americans. And if you remember in our second or third to last video, we were talking about how he had posted some very cryptic tweets that everybody has been wondering about. He posted a mix of random numbers and random letters on Twitter, and then he deleted the tweet. So a lot of people thought that this was a signal that he was being kidnapped or that he was being murdered. Well, in the last couple days, some new information has come out, well, at least from one person who is purportedly Mr. Snowden's friend, that he is still alive and that everything was fine. However, some people went ahead and took the jumbled mix of letters and numbers that he tweeted, which actually looked like something called a hex code. And what they did was they sort of decoded it and suggested that the hex code tweeted traces to a Bitcoin transaction in the amount of 0.000911. And this is leaving some people wondering if this is some sort of cyber distress signal, 911. So a lot of people have been wondering if this 64-character hex code that he posted last Friday was a sort of dead man switch, or an automatic message that was to be released if he was killed or captured. So what someone did was they took Snowden's message and tested it as a private key hash on the Bitcoin blockchain, which traced to transactions between two addresses. And again, we get some more cryptic info where this transaction ended in 911, suggesting that Mr. Snowden used this cryptocurrency, which is what Bitcoin is, to convey a 911 distress signal. And if you don't know, 911 is the emergency telephone number here in the United States. Could this be a call for help from Mr. Snowden? And why was the tweet deleted shortly after it was sent? And, just because someone who comes out and purports to be Snowden's friend, who is telling everybody, oh, he's fine, doesn't necessarily make it so. I would definitely like some more backup on that, and hopefully he is still safe. So, we've gone through some interesting things in today's video. We have the space footage where they're pointing up the laser pointers. These things are flashing their lights back at them. We have the Pompano Beach footage of this cube-looking UFO materializing out of thin air with lights in the background over the ocean, also acting very strangely. An amazing capture. We have new objects captured over the moon. And now, to end this video, I want to show you some really amazing footage that was posted by Matthew Williams. I will put the original 8-minute video link to this down in the video description. He's captured some amazing drone footage of crop circles in the UK. This specific crop circle captured in the small village of Ansty, which is a village and civil parish in southwest Wiltshire in England. He has captured some wonderful footage here. Be sure to stop over to his channel and subscribe and give him a like. So sit back, relax, check this out, and we'll see you back soon in just a bit with much, much more.